Hello humans! Today I wanted to talk about this guy right here. This is a WorkSharp EDC micro sharpener and knife tool. Kind of a mouthful of a name, not gonna lie, for such a small product especially. I ended up getting this as part of the Boker Plus advent calendar last year, and I've been carrying it kind of when I feel I'm gonna need it over the course of the past year, and I think I finally have enough thoughts put together to talk about it. So, here we go. To start off with, the tool itself is fairly simple. We have a 400 grit diamond stone on one side. We have a fine ceramic stone on the other. They are both rounded, which can be useful if your serrations are exactly this size or bigger. If your serrations are smaller than this, then, rounded stone doesn't make that big of a difference when you're straightening a flat edge. Straight edge, it doesn't make that big of a difference, but, you know, it is worth considering. So yeah, fine ceramic, 400 grit diamond, which is pretty coarse. And then you have 3 bits on this little bit holder, which the way it actually holds in place is kind of interesting. It's got like a soft rubber bit at the bottom, and then it fits into these grooves on the sides with these little tab things right here. So the tactile experience of moving this back and forth is very interesting. It's not unpleasant, but it is quite a bit different. Anyway, so yeah, bit storage for 3 bits. It comes with a T10, T8, and T6. And then up here at the top, you have a magnetic 1/4 inch driver. So the actual conclusion is you do end up with a good amount of torque on this if you need to use it as a little bit of a screwdriver. It's not the most comfortable thing in the world, but if you're adjusting your knife, something small like that, it is pretty usable. And to that end, the bits that they choose do make a lot of sense. T6 and T8 are the 2 most common bits on pocket knives by far, followed fairly closely by T10 for some bigger knives or whatever. I know some companies make a big fuss about using T10 pivots, which is kind of whatever. In terms of bits, in terms of sharpener selection, which is this thing's main bread and butter, obviously given the name and stuff like that, 400 grit and fine ceramic actually makes a lot of sense to me. This is a tool for people who need to sharpen their knives during the day, like during a work day, which is a lot of sharpening. If you're somebody who uses your knife pretty regularly, you might be stropping sharpening it nightly. That could make sense depending on how much stuff you're cutting. But if you have to stop in the middle of the day to sharpen your knife to cut more stuff throughout the day, that's an aggressive amount of sharpening. So to that end, 400 grit and fine ceramic makes sense. A lot of your light work, just bringing your edge back up, you can do on the fine ceramic. Once the fine ceramic and a quick strop off your belt isn't doing it anymore, switching over to the 400 grit for full sharpening does make a good amount of sense. So, you know, that seems reasonable to me. It's not the most out there thing. To that end, also, the grips on this are pretty good. You have these 2 scallop sections, which are very easy to place kind of in the nook of my thumb and my index finger, and then sharpen with my right hand, which, just for a quick example, right? Nice and easy to do. You can bring the edge up very, very fast doing something like that, which I think makes a lot of sense. What I will say for it is it's not very thick, but it is fairly big, which can make it a little bit awkward to fit in the pocket. In general, when I've carried this, I've actually slipped it in my back pocket just because it is so flat and easy to carry. Dropping it in the back pocket isn't a big deal. Whereas in the front pockets, there's a decent amount of stuff in my front pockets, so it ends up competing quite a bit for space and getting stuck on stuff. It has this lanyard attachment or keyring attachment. This is a bit of a thing to commit to having on your keys, in my opinion. So to that end, it doesn't make a lot of sense for me, but because it is so flat, it's nothing for me to drop this in my back pocket. It's perfectly fine. You can disassemble it. I don't know why you'd want to, but, you know, you've got all your screw heads there. What are they? They're going to be like a T6. Might be a T10? No. Yeah, they're T8. Yeah, so you can't disassemble this with the T8. You will need a different screwdriver to disassemble it, and I'm not going to because I don't see the point. But, you know, if you feel the need to, you definitely can. Like I said, the grits make sense. The supports on this do make sense. I will also say that if you're somebody who like needs a screwdriver often enough to carry a dedicated screwdriver, but maybe you need a more varied selection of bits for whatever reason, or it just makes sense, something like this is pretty convenient just for 3 extra bits. I know that the screwdriver that I will often carry if I am carrying an independent screwdriver is the bit insert for a Zippo, and that only has storage for 4 bits. So if I know that I'm going to be, working with a bunch of different bit types, having something like this that has just an additional 3 bits in it can be quite useful. So to that end, it can make a good amount of sense. That's kind of it for the positives. I don't necessarily understand the point of this product. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I have used it, and it's useful. It does what it sets out to do just fine. But something like this that is designed to be sort of an EDC, everyday carry kind of item, needs to have nearly everyday or everyday uses. And I just don't see that with this product. If you are somebody who is cutting through lots of abrasive material, you're dulling your knives very fast at work or out in the bush or whatever it is that you're doing, so much so that you need to sharpen in the middle of the day, my first recommendation would actually be upgrade your blade steel. Because, and like, I can appreciate it, if you've got something like 420J2, this is a very soft steel. It dulls very quickly. You can keep a working edge on this for a good long time if you're careful, but if you're cutting lots of material for work or whatever, yeah, this is going to dull pretty fast. Same thing with this, right? This is the Cold Steel Micro Recon 1. It's in, 4116? Yeah, 4116 stainless, which is a fine steel, but it doesn't hold an edge very long. But upgrade. Just a little bit, right? Like, this is a sub $20 knife. I think this is like a $30 knife. You can even just go up to something like this, Kaiser Brat 154 CM, right? And yes, it is a couple times more expensive, but it holds an edge infinitely better. You can also go a good ways up in terms of upgrades, and you can go, like, just because I have it on hand, Cold Steel Engage S35VN, right? This is going to hold an edge infinitely longer than either of these two. If you're sharpening your knife once a day, like if you're using something like this to sharpen one of these knives once a day, you'll go a couple days before you need to sharpen this knife. And that's fine, right? That is an upgrade path that does make a good amount of sense. But even at like the extra $15 kind of a range, because that's what this cost, by the way, costed before they retired it. It was $15 US. Which is about 20-ish Canadian. So on balance, like the upgrade cost of one of these to add to your everyday carry is such that you generally speaking can go up a blade steel. On the flip side, if you have a premium blade steel and you are still using it enough to where you have to sharpen your knife more than once a day, I have to ask if you're using the right tool for the job in a knife. It might genuinely be worth your time if you are cutting that much stuff that actively to switch to disposable blades. Because you're clearly cutting aggressively abrasive material so constantly to dull nice knife steels that do last. Something like this just doesn't make sense. So for me, this fits in kind of the but why though category. If you're thinking like just dropping it into a pack or whatever, yeah, that can make sense. And to be honest, I think that the place that this is going to live is on my motorbike pack, just because it's small enough that it doesn't take up very much space. But for a go bag or something like that, the full-sized field sharpener just makes more sense, or even a small axe stone just makes more sense in my opinion. So you end up in this awkward position where this is a good product. It is genuinely a good product. It is worth the $15, no doubt in my mind. That's fine. I just don't necessarily think that there's a reason to buy it, because I think that it is solving a problem that doesn't exist. Yeah. So it's nice. It works. It's a good thing. It's just not something I have necessarily found to be super useful. And whilst I have used it and I have carried it, I think from here on out I'm just going to, if I know I'm going out and doing something that's going to be hard on a blade steel, I'm going to pick a blade steel that matches the task. So I do feel in many ways that this solves a problem that doesn't need to exist. And if you are somebody who only has one knife, I mean, I have sub $20 knives, a playlist of them on my channel. You can start there and look for good ones. But even in the sub $100 category, you can get nice blade steels. I feel like that is the play here, more so than a pocket sharpener, which kind of sucks. But yeah, this is good. It'll run any 1/4 inch bit. Yeah, it's kind of a downer to end on because it's a good product and it is worth the $15. Or $20 Canadian. It's just not solving a problem that I can imagine most people have. And if it is a problem you have, I feel like there are much better solutions out there for you. Yeah. It's kind of all I have to say on it. Stay safe and have fun out there. Peace.